Superman issue 25, Brian Michael Bendis writing with Ivan Reis on the art. And much like a patron made Connor read Action Comics last month, the same patron has has forced Connor into reading Superman issue 25, which I don't think is as punishing because it's not Romita Jr. That was the real comedy factor for me last time.
I don't know. I think this take out the art, just in terms of the writing, this might be worse.
I don't want to say it's worse. However, this issue kept going on,
spicy,
and on.
Yeah, it's a long issue.
On.
Do you want to hear about Light Gods?
Yeah, and I appreciate where Bendis is going and what Sedmar seems to be. It just, man.
Here's the thing. Every time it cut to Clark and Lana, I loved those pages. I thought they're back and forth, kind of tidying up continuity a little bit with what their history is right now. I enjoyed those pages immensely, including the flashback stuff. The alien stuff was definitely... I mean, the Clark and Lana stuff had a lot of bubbles too, don't get me wrong, but all of that was really enjoyable to read. The alien discussion, like all their bubbles, was like to the point where I'm like, okay, we're setting up another alien villain for Superman to fight in some capacity. I was like, you could easily have condensed all of this alien stuff down to like far less pages and had this be a regular size issue without it missing a beat.
Yeah, easily.
Just questions on the alien stuff. Is this their first appearance?
That's all new. Yeah,
right. This is all new because we came from the last one where Superman was upset. He's having some not personality. He had like therapy, and so we got Doctor Strange and the magic stuff, and that was playing in with some of the stuff that he had done with Leviathan. This is all new, and I get what he's doing, but I feel a lot of these are the same beats that we've already hit with, like Naomi, and I stuff in Legion.
I'd heard someone refer to this new character that by the end, this champion of Sinmar, as kind of feeling like Rogol Zar 2.0, and it's very different context, but ultimately, kind of generic alien design. Is going to fight Superman.
These pages were rough. This is pretty much what the issue opens on. The first page itself is fine, right? Whatever. The second page is double page splash. Two questions. I mean, okay, one question on this page in particular. Why does it give us the names of every single one of these people when they all sound the exact same?
And they all look the same. There's not a lot of flourishes to make them look different.
There's not any visual distinction. I could maybe tell the one main, what I assume was a woman, the president who has the extra flair. Everyone else, all the same.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Like we've already seen this with Krypton, right? Through the eyes of the council. I forget what they were called, but they were the ones that led Supergirl going across with Rolzar's axe, and me and Pete really enjoyed that story. And now we have this other council that's keeping an eye on a Kryptonian refugee to Earth so Bendis can give us his diatribe on what Superman means, which we already kind of have a take on, judging from him revealing himself and just how he's written him for the last 25 issues, and then the other however many in action. And then this is just reinforcing that, which then, in turn, got Comics Twitter kicked up with, because anytime you try to ascribe a philosophy to Superman, you're going to upset, one or the other. And I get where Bendis is coming from here, and in context it works, but I don't know if any of this was necessary, especially in issue 25.
Yeah, I mean, the core idea of this alien world that sees Krypton explode, is kind of worried about their own planet, but notices that there's a life raft, and this ship makes its way to Earth, and they say, "Wait a minute, this baby's going to end up having like light god powers. What's going on?"
And can we talk about the light god?
Well, one second. The core idea of them always being hesitant and edgy that this being might be too powerful, and almost being shocked when it seems that from a distance, like, wait, he's actually not done anything bad to them yet. In fact, if anything, he's a hero of the people, and everyone seems to love him. He's not betrayed them yet. Like, there's potential in there. I mean, to be honest, my biggest criticism of this issue might not actually be just how tedious some of the alien pages are. It's actually that I think the ending's a little unclear as to what exactly happens, because I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. No. And that's the thing. You say tedious and stuff, and I get it, but like, I don't know. How many more stories do we need of an alien race being, shocked that Superman's not conquered them?
Well, according to Bendis, at least one more.
Well, and that's my whole thing. There's other aliens. Like, I don't understand why you need to add a new branch, or ones that haven't even shown up in Legion. Like, if these were he could have even done the Daxamites. He could have done the what?
I'm going
Connor?
to make a statement here.
Yeah.
Bendis is the anti-Morrison. In the
Sure.
sense that Morrison loves taking random obscure stuff, but pre-establish shit and going, I'm going to make this work. Bendis just loves going, right, I'm going to do my own thing. New stuff.
But then again, if you've read Naomi, him throwing the Rand Thanagar War in there, that's, and adding that.
I don't mean that he ignores stuff.
I know, but there's precedent. And again, I don't get why we need to introduce the Sinmar to this.
Some of Bendis' new creations are great, and I love that he does try to add new stuff.
Oh,
it does
Teen Lantern, right? That's.
Well, I was just thinking Naomi, but yeah, Teen Lantern as well, sure.
Well, yeah, but that's I just brought up Naomi, but yeah. But no, there's the stuff that he's doing. If you're looking at this through Young Justice and Legion, there's so much other aliens or worlds to pull from, but he gives us a total new one and then has them rehash everything us readers kind of know. And I get, there's the theory that every comic, someone's new comic, but if I was a new reader to Superman and I kept seeing all those bubbles with these completely indistinct aliens, I don't know if I'd want to keep reading Superman. Yeah.
You're saying that as someone who's a Bendis fan.
And a Superman fan, right?
Yeah.
Like, again, so it's very, like Pete said, tedious, but there's ways to do it, and I just wonder why he picked this one.
I don't get it.
The core beats of the story, which is they're concerned that Superman could start taking over people and might even build an entire planet full of people like him. Like the Earth will become New Krypton, and all the beings on it will end up with these powers, and they could start taking over the galaxy. You can get that fear. They're surprised that it's not happening. And then the ultimate thing, which is they've created their own Superman, essentially. And then whatever happens at the end, it makes them seem to think Superman's came and killed everyone. You can get all that across in, far less pages and certainly far less speech bubbles, and make it a bit more succinct. And it wouldn't necessarily be, amazing, because it's not a super amazing, original idea, but it wouldn't be. My problem with this is just how much of a chore it was to read. It's not so much that the concept itself is upsetting me in any way.
No, and that's it too. Is that it did feel like a chore. So on top of it, you're just like, I'm not gaining anything from this, and it took forever. And the art's nice to look at. I kind of like the alien designs. I just wish they were more distinct.
I like the alien design, singular.
Design, because I do like seeing Lana pop back up, because it's been forever. I just, after he just offed one redhead in Metropolis, I'm a little worried for
Matt,
Lana.
I was actually just going to say, it feels like she's been given so much time, and how important she is to Clark's backstory, because he's going to kill her. The villain is going to kill her off, because that this tragic ending he has at the end of this issue, where all of these other aliens are dead, I think we're going to have him retaliate. I mean, not necessarily with the intention right now of targeting that one person specifically, but ultimately we're going to end up with a Lana is dead story during this.
Yeah, because she's always there at big moments in Clark's life. Even if she's not right next to Clark, we get her perspective of it. Her at the news station when Superman makes his appearance fighting Luthor, right? Which had shades of Birthright, which I enjoy. It's my favorite Superman story, really. So that was cool. But yeah, I'm just wondering why Lana all of a sudden, I hope she's not going to, in essence, get fridged here, where it's just her death to drive the story.
It would be a really cynical thing to do right at the end of your run when... Yeah. I don't know.
Or this is why they're different, right? Maybe this alien learns from Superman and that, or whatever. But I also do like the distinction that this guy, I forget his name, I don't have my book open in front of me, but he was a soldier that went to war and proved himself through combat to be this champion, which is completely opposite of Superman, who, you know, he's not really Earth's champion. It's just something he's elected to keep everybody safe, right? Like, it's not an actual position. So I do like that's a new wrinkle that Bendis really hasn't touched on.
Yeah.
I mean, he did the kind of the president of Earth, you know, to the United Planets and stuff, but not really like this. So there is good in here. It's just, it's too much.
I mean, all the Lana and Clark stuff I really like. I like him teasing his Leviathan stuff by when Clark checks up on Lois, you see that she's with the other detectives.
That was cool.
You know, that was a nice little touch. Talking, like, it's just sort of reestablishing some of the content, because it feels like Secret Origin's back kind of more or less in continuity for his origin, based on a couple of the details and just things in the art. But then, of course, also mentions the fact that, you know, like, Ma Kent is being basically forgives Clark for anything that's ever upset her because she's got a grandson now. So just those little details.
I did like that wrinkle.
You know, yeah, weaving in like kind of what continuity and just almost it's just a style, because the Kents have been back barely a while, and we're still learning exactly what the deal is.
What they know, and you know how long they've been experiencing this. You know, like how they feel when John went off with Space Grandpa. You know, like I'd love to know how Mom and Pa Kent felt about that, which is cool because that adds more questions. But yeah, I got to this, and also Sidmar being purple, red, and yellow. Also I forget the name of the god of chaos in the last one, also having those same
sure, yeah,
kind of thing. It's like, yeah, I don't know. So I guess I'm kind of happy he's drawing it to the end, because maybe he just needs a refresh. Maybe 50 issues is kind of his limit. Although we've seen him longer on.
It's actually 60 really, because you throw in a couple of those one shots. Plus Man of Steel. In fact, if anything, it's maybe even closer to 70 once you add all that in as well.
Yeah. So maybe that's just was his limit on Superman, and you know he just because I don't want to just throw it all out, because there's been a lot of good with him doing. Because again, you go into comics Twitter and you see everybody freaking out and how much of a disaster Bendis has been on Superman. I'm like, I don't know. I think we're reading different things here, guys.
Yeah, which they've been saying since day one. It's worth mentioning. It's not like that's a new thing.
Well, like, I was upset he aged up John, but that's not enough for me to discredit his entire run, because that story that came out of that and John's trauma, which leads to him going to the Legion, that story's good, you know? So yeah, you take the good with the bad.
Yeah, I did like it addressing kind of Lana being Superwoman and kind of talking about that a little bit. I liked her little line where she said, in my experience, hanging around with you too long ends up getting you superpowers. That was a nice little meta dig almost.
That was fun.
So
yeah, protect. I'm gonna start a Protect Lana campaign.
It's too late, man. It's too late already.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I can talk some sense into Chrome Dome. You know.
So yeah, the cliffhanger is that the main alien from Sinmar,
which we don't even know his name.
Well, that's the thing.
That's a problem.
When because the cover or whatever says introducing Sinmar, I assumed Sinmar was going to be the name of the main alien that we're going to be introduced to, and then within a couple of pages, that's the planet. The planet's called Sinmar.
Is it Eisno Alcor? Is that him?
Alcor, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, sure, we're all going to remember that really.
Well, I mean, you'll be quiet for a little bit, Carl. You're supposed to talk about this, so give us some thoughts. Give us some.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with all of that was that I couldn't jump in because everything you were just saying was in relation to the run, which I have no context for. I don't know how this sits in the run. I don't know. For all I know, this has been what the entire run has been. I mean, the way you guys were just talking then, I take it it's not. But yeah, I don't know. This issue was really, really rough for me, and it wasn't just the aliens. The alien stuff was the worst by far. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of the Lana stuff was really overwordy as well. For example, there's the first one of the first pages of her at work. I think it's when Superman first appears. It's the page before when she gets there and she's talking with her editor, whoever, manager, whatever he is. Just so much gibberish that meant nothing, and I'm like, this needs to be like a third of the amount of this conversation at most. There's just no need for anything. None of it serves anything. It's just there.
Well, no, but that's typical Bendis banter, which I figured you were gonna hate because.
Yeah, I do like Bendis banter when it's between characters that.
This is it. It doesn't. To me, this doesn't feel like banter. This feels like. It feels like he's got a word count, like that he's got a hit, like he's getting paid by the word.
I disagree there because it's her establishing as the science consultant for the TV station and how she knows Clark Kent over at the planet.
Yeah, just on this scene actually, Matt, did you get the idea that this was the moment she realized that Superman and Clark Kent were the same person when she took the photo and saw his face like up close?
Yeah, which I don't like because I do like the idea that Lana knows before he leaves.
Yeah, I like him telling her.
Like
yeah,
maybe she knew he had powers but didn't know he's Superman, right? Because to me, he doesn't become Superman until he goes to Metropolis.
Sure,
that's true, and it establishes in this issue that he was Superboy for a while, right? And she, I don't know if she knew him as Superboy, but it was definitely she was obsessed with Superboy.
She definitely knows in hindsight that he was Superboy, obviously, given the scenes where she mentions it.
But I always like, and it's a bit of the Smallville take of it, is that while there, that's her, whatever happened, dating, not dating, that is his best friend, even more so than Pete. And so before he leaves for or whatever, they know, she knows that he's an alien. And it's trusted with her.
I do think it's funny, though, that both me and Matt came out of this thinking that Bendis is going to kill Lana by the end of this arc.
I don't like... Well, had he not just killed Moore, the fire chief, then I but I don't know, maybe he has a thing against Reds. I don't know. Connor, be careful, because you've already said enough to make him mad.
I know. Honestly, I think this is personal. I think this is because he's been watching this and he knows my opinion at this point. And it's like, right, well, screw gingers then. That's the only logical explanation.
The dust.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Anyway,
it's the only logical explanation. I don't know. It was a chore to read for me, this issue.
Yeah. But I do like a lot of the art here when it's not being obscured by speech bubbles. It's the page where they're talking about all of Superman's deeds right after she takes the picture, and you see him just in classic Superman stuff, like stopping the train from Action Comics.
The funny thing is that I hate the Smallville TV show, but if you give me a comic book set during that time period, this flashback here when they're at the football game and it's like young Clark being drawn by Evan Reese, I'm like,
very Gary Frank-esque.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Like Pete said, it's a secret origin.
Yeah.
But you go to that page and there's these moments from Superman mythology, like the cover to Action Comics 1 there, down at the bottom, him breaking through the chains, and it's just, I like all of that. So in a 25th issue, it's cool they're doing a send up, but I just wish it wasn't so bogged down with this alien, stuff.
Oh well, unfortunately, it wasn't a glowing praising review of Superman. But Matt, what are you giving the issue?
I'm going to give this, despite all of that other stuff, I'm going to give it a 7. I know it may be lower, but Ivan Reis's art does take it up a notch or two.
Connor's reaction to that is gold.
My system makes no sense.
I know, but you even still, like, that caught me off guard. I was like, this is going to be a 6 at most with the way he's been talking about it.
All right, Connor, what's your score?
It's a 3, which is better than the last issue, the Action Comics one, mainly because the art is pretty nice. I have very little good to say about the writing.
I mean, compared to Romita Jr. again, I mean...
If a whiskey gets sent from Oregon, do not drink it.
I really liked the Lana scenes. The alien scenes I thought were a chore. Art was good. I'm going to chuck up to a 6. So I thought Matt was too high with that, but I also
again, my system makes no sense, and it's in full disrespect to ratings.
And so. I am concerned though. I'm concerned for Lana's well-being.